Hello, hello. My name is Karina Groombridge, and welcome to another episode of Mom Boss Life. This is edition 13, and my guest tonight is Erin Call. I am super excited to have her on. She is a soul success and empowerment coach. She will help you beat those limiting beliefs and really step into your power and your purpose. Now, I am just going to double check and see if she has joined us yet. Oh, okay. All right. Just adding you. Hopefully that will come through in just a second. I hope. I've had a lot of technical issues lately, so I apologize. Okay, fingers crossed. Oh, yes.
It worked.
It worked.
Hello.
Yay. Hello,
I'm so
hello.
sorry. Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
no worries. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I think my the clock I was looking at was a little delayed, so that could have been why we didn't catch each other at the same time.
Okay,
But
perfect.
yes, no worries. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited to have you on. I was just giving you a bit of an intro and just wanted to say this is, again, episode 13 of Mom Boss Life, where we really, I want to showcase awesome mom bosses just like yourself and kind of pull back the curtains and see, what's going on in your business. How are you making it all work with raising the family, building a business? Really want to dive into you and who you are and how you can help us. So,
Love it.
so with that, I'd love to know more about you and I guess start off with personal life. I believe you mentioned you have 3 kiddos.
Yes. Yeah. I have 3 kiddos. Thank you for having me, by the way. I'm so excited to be here. I'm super passionate about moms that desire to do more and be more than just mom. For some of us that really want that, sharing my story and my journey and yours as well, and really empowering women to know that they can have both and do both is really, really
Mm-hmm.
part of my passion. So yes, I have a hubby and three babies. They're not babies anymore. Aiden's 11. It's crazy. Savannah's 9
You
and
you
Kiefer's
blink and
5.
they just grow, right?
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm like, he's literally like up to here on me. I'm not joking. Like 5'3" or something crazy, and it's insane.
Oh boy.
And they do, let's see, baseball, soccer, cheer, running club, like all the things, right? They do
Of
all the
course.
stuff.
Of
And,
course.
you know, you, I started as an entrepreneur when Kiefer was like, that's my little guy. He's 5 now. When he was like 10 months old, 10 months, almost a year. And, you think as they get bigger, it gets quote unquote easier. I think it just shifts and it gets different because
Yeah.
he was nursing when I was like building a website, and now he's like, going and I have to drive him to soccer or lacrosse or whatever while I'm doing the thing. So I think it just shifts.
I definitely agree with you. I don't have that notion that it gets easier. I have 3 kids under the age of 4, and I really just think it's not like it won't get easier. I'll just not have to change diapers anymore, which I'm looking forward to.
Yes,
Very much looking
it'll
forward
just
to.
shift. I remember that. Yes.
Yes. So can you tell us more about your passion and your business that you've built?
Yeah. So I've kind of had a journey. I can tell you a little bit about how I got here if you want.
Yes.
And
I would love that.
okay. Perfect. I'll tell you. I'll try to keep it short and concise because I could talk a lot. So, when I was pregnant with Kiefer, I decided to quit my corporate job. I was an analyst at an insurance company, and that was like 5 years ago. I was just not fulfilled. I felt that the cubicle life just wasn't for me. I desired more. I didn't know what that looked like, had no idea what my passion would be. And I decided to stay home and go back to school I was 6 months pregnant. So I was sitting in a college classroom thinking, okay, like I'll figure out what I want. I got an internship and I turned it down and was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I think that what happened is when I pulled myself out of that, like, quote unquote, constrictive, corporate environment, that it opened up my soul to wanting that freedom and wanting to create something for myself and really just exploring like what my soul wanted. And so my first step into entrepreneurship, I owned a luxury mobile spray tan studio, which is like nothing what I do right now. So I got in the beauty. Yes, it was a start. I got in the beauty industry and I loved it. And I loved my customers and my clients. And from there, I found internet business and realized that that's where I could use it as a platform to truly empower women to, step into what I really felt called to do and also have the freedom and kind of find a synergy between everything rather than taking clients at, 9 o'clock at night and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So that really spoke to me. And then about 8 months ago, I had hit top of sales, top in recruiting in my network marketing business. And I loved it. I was enjoying it, but I really just felt that it was my time to finally step into what my soul all along had been calling me to do, which was really to coach women to find their passion and purpose, to step into their power and really like own what their soul was telling them to do, to peel back all the layers. And I always say, get soul naked, figure out what it is that
I
is
like that.
but it's true, right? Like you really like want to know yourself on that level and say yes to those desires and give yourself permission to do exactly what you desire to do. And so now that's my passion. Now I do one-on-one coaching, group coaching, all of that stuff.
Amazing. I think that's crazy because you said do what your soul wants you to do. And I feel like so many people don't do that. I still am working at my corporate job as an engineer. And I just feel like, there's a whole lot of people that are there that are really excited when it's Friday and really not so happy when it's Monday. And it's like, no, I want to look forward to Monday. Like,
yes.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a whole like mindset shift. And that's the thing is like, I do actually have some corporate clients. Most of the women I work with are already in business and they're just looking to kind of like get soul naked, peel back the layers and really, hit that next level by authentically saying what they desire to say, create what they want to create, do what they desire to do at the next level. But I do have some corporate clients and they get so excited when we peel back the layers and really get them like aligned with what they desire to do and get some clarity around that and get that soul alignment. And then they like don't want to go to work because they're like, I just want to work on this, right? And it's like that shift of like trying to like, get out of corporate and step into their entrepreneurial journey.
Ah, excellent. So basically you're building more entrepreneurs.
Basically, yes. Yeah. Well, most of them end up, yes. Or all of them. Yeah, all of them.
Oh, fantastic. I love it. So what's the best part that you find when you're coaching your clients? What do you look forward to the most?
When they have those breakthrough moments where they're like, oh my gosh, that's it. Like a click, like an aha moment. It's like the empowering part for me is asking the right questions and pulling it out of them because that empowers them to create their own breakthroughs versus like me telling you something, me telling you what it is, how it works. And so that's the most exciting part for me when they're like, oh my gosh, I just had a massive shift and like that makes so much sense. And now I feel so much clearer. I love that.
Oh, it's so true. And I mean, we're bombarded with all sorts of information, but like it actually takes somebody to pull it out of you, which is why I personally love coaching because that's your job, right? Like that's what the two of us do is pull it out of people to say, look, this is what you're saying you like. Start going in that direction.
Like this is what's been inside of you all along that's been masked by the stuff that you were taught to believe or decided to believe or the limits and conditions you put on all the things. And when you can peel back those layers, they're like unstoppable at that point. And then when they talk about what they're passionate about and you see them light up, like that's also my favorite part. I could talk to anybody about anything as long as they get lit up by it,
Oh, so true. So true.
So true.
So what does your business look like now as far as like a day to day? Because I mean, obviously you have more flexibility and your kids are doing all sorts of stuff. So what does a day in the life look like?
Oh, I love that question because it's actually just recently shifted for me. My littlest guy went to kindergarten, which is like in 12 years because my oldest one's almost 12. So I'm like, I've been doing this for almost 12 years. So now he's in kindergarten, my little one. And so my days look a little different. I drop them off at school or my husband does at like 7:30. I get to come home generally in the morning. It's meditating, journaling, like creation time. And I generally take client calls late morning through early afternoon. And I include, time to write emails, time to go live, time to post all my content. And I make sure I have that creation block though, because that's how your business gets built is you giving yourself time to create and all of that stuff. And Most days I pick them up. Some days they stay after school and do some stuff. And so it's about like 7:30 to 2:30. And then periodically, because I do have some corporate clients, I'll take a couple of corporate clients at night and or do stuff like this and tell them that I just got finished making dinner. Said, okay, you go play Barbies and cars. My husband's at the gym, and here I am with you guys.
Oh, amazing. I love that they're independent now. I couldn't do
Yes,
that with my
it
boys
is
at the moment.
different. No. When they're little, it's a different challenge. They napped then. Now they would never take a nap for the life of me, but they're in school, so it's a little different. It shifts.
Very true. Very true. Okay, so have you ever had a point in your business or businesses where you felt like giving up, like throwing in the towel, just that's it, you've had enough?
Momentary times, probably, like where I felt like, this is challenging. This is tough. Am I ever going to make it? I think that was a lot of the mindset shift that I did in the past year and a half was like, am I ever going to hit that level that I want? And then I realized when I hit that then I wanted more. So I had been chasing something like completely elusive that what I really needed to sink into was I was her right now. I could enjoy every moment. It was a journey. There was no arriving. And so I've definitely had moments. I still have moments, where I cried to my coach today. I mean, like we all have the moments where we go through like we need to heal something, right? At every level, you need to heal something. So I think deep in my soul, I know that this is made for me. So even the times when it felt challenging, I never said I'm going to walk away, but I've had feelings of like, is this how it's going to be? Or, and that's when you're like triggered to do the inner work, right?
Very true, very true. But I mean,
Yeah.
like you focus on mindset and limiting beliefs, so I feel like, and so do I. So I feel like it's kind of more ingrained in us versus other people may not recognize that that's a step. So what do you do to get in the right headspace?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you're right in that sense that the people that think it's all strategy and don't understand the balance of mindset and strategy and all that stuff could get caught up in those feelings and think, oh my gosh, it's about like what I have to do versus like who I show up as. And one of the things I work on my clients with is awareness, right? Like when you start to feel those feelings, like when you feel the pressure in your chest, like someone's freaking sitting on you, or you feel like that pit in your stomach, like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to get the next client or this or that? It's becoming a conscious observer of that and feeling those feelings and being aware. And it's okay to feel those feelings, but allowing them to essentially like shift through you and you to learn to flip it. So the more work we do around you becoming aware and then you learning to flip it, right? It becomes almost like subconscious work and those like quantum leaps or whatever happen much faster, shifting from a limiting belief or a space of fear to a space of, abundance or empoweredness, right? And then you take action based on that. A lot of the things that I personally do are journaling, meditating, I go to yoga. Like if I feel those feelings, sometimes I allow myself to just walk away, like get up, go outside, get some fresh air and like connect to myself. And then I can revisit what I'm doing, right?
Yes, completely agree. I think
Yeah.
Tony Robbins talks about changing your state. And I mean, obviously that like get up, walk around,
Jump.
do something different.
Yeah,
Yes.
I actually just had that conversation with a client. She's like a money mindset coach, and she's actually one of my corporate clients that's shifting out. And we were talking about that. And I said, it's like a kid, right? Like when you are trying to quote unquote, like discipline your kid, a lot of times it's about distraction, right? Like you just distract the state they're in with something else. So you're not like punishing them, but you're distracting them. It's so similar with us. If we can change our state, like whether we jump up and down, scream, sing, dance, or something to change the physical feeling that we're having, we distract ourselves and allow ourselves to come back in a completely different, like energetic space.
Yes, I love that. And good explanation, by the way.
Yes. Well, thank you.
So can you tell me what traits do you feel that you have that have really allowed you to succeed in your business?
So funny. I literally just had like this conversation with my coach today about like what makes a good coach. one of the things that I think is so powerful is being able to like meet people where they're at, right?
Mm.
Is understanding that everyone's at a different space and being able to really like, I feel like almost like a chameleon. Like I could understand someone at a high level, right? And I could also understand someone that's really shifting through some shit, quote unquote, like healing some stuff that maybe I healed a year ago or whatever. Like being able to really meet people where they're at and hold space for them is something that I like pride myself on. I feel like I can read people's energy, and like intuition is a huge thing. And I'm super aware and conscious in the sense that I'm like really connected to myself and my inner knowing. And so I feel like that intuition, those eyes and that energy on people's businesses and in their life, I can really like kind of project and see what's going on before they recognize it. So I can kind of like guide them into the direction that they need to go in, essentially. Or ask the right questions, all of that stuff. And I mean, I think another good thing is like, yes, I'm a mindset coach. I call myself a soul success and empowerment coach. Most of the stuff I do is around mindset and energy and spiritual strategy, quote unquote. But like, I understand sales, right? Like I understand sales. I understand selling. I understand, you know, telling your story and converting that into sales. And so I think the blend of both of those has served me really well.
Ah, excellent. I feel like you learn as you go, like as an entrepreneur, and even if you're not focused on the business aspect, you've already obviously figured this out for yourself. So it's a benefit
Right.
that you can also give to your clients.
Right. There's that little piece of strategy where that's not where like my heart and soul is, even though I love selling, that's like not the mindset piece and the breakthroughs is where like I light up. Right. But I could still help you with X, Y, and Z because I had to do it myself. I get it. You know,
Yes, so true.
yes.
So, do you have any self-care routines to keep you, on the ball, working at 100%?
Yeah, man, I can't operate at a good level if I don't take care of myself. Yeah. So I journal every single day. Generally, most days I get up before the kids and I'll have my coffee and journal and like just meditate and kind of be with myself for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. It depends when they decide they're going to get up that day, which is the glorious part of having children. Sometimes they think it's cool to get up at 5 a.m. and you're like, not today. I also go to yoga 4 to 5 times a week. Like if I don't go to yoga, it's like changed my life the last year. That's something that I committed to that practice, and that has just shifted so much for me internally. So I go there 4 to 5 times a week. I make sure I spend time with my husband. Like I know that that's not like an internal self-care, but it really is like nurturing the relationships that are
Still, yeah.
important to you. Yeah, like so important. And I take time away. This weekend I went away, I went away with my girlfriend like a couple of times a year. I get away. I'm like, bye guys. See you later. Love ya. Come back in a few days.
Yes.
So
Oh,
yeah. Trying
so
to think if
true.
there's anything else that I do. I mean, I do things like, the typical, I get my nails done, like a few basic, like pampering things, but I think of self-care as more like honoring inside, right? Like,
True. Well, it's different for
so,
everyone, right?
right. Of course.
And different levels and all sorts. So, for everybody watching, we'd love to hear any questions you have for Erin or I, or just drop us a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Oh, Daniel Mackenzie says hi. That's my husband and my daughter.
Hello. Hey guys. Hi, Lysandra. Oh, hi, Ileana. I'm seeing a bunch of people pop up now. I had swiped it to the side.
Ah, excellent. So yes, ladies, say hi. Let us know where you're calling from. Let us know if you have any questions. And if you're catching the replay, then by all means, both of us can go circle back around to answer whatever questions you've got. So with that, Erin, I'd love to hear, what does your support network look like? Because I know a lot of moms out there might be looking to start or grow their business and thinking like, how am I going to find the time? So obviously,
Yeah.
now that you're full-time in your business, you're able to drop the kids off at school, but do you still leverage your support network at all? Like, do you find you need to?
Always. I think, and I shouldn't say always, because there's been many a times like my husband's gone for 2 or 3 weeks or he'll go back to New York and like I manage, because my mindset has always been we do the things that we need to do. And I'm sure most moms get that and understand that. And my business is a non-negotiable for me. I mean, I show up, I have to serve. Right. And so, but we also don't have a huge support network. It's literally pretty much just me, my husband, and, you know, some friends out here. My in-laws do live here, but they work. We moved from New York, so I don't have that so much anymore like I did when I was back home, that I had my parents and siblings, and it's just us. So we rely on each other a lot, you know. I mean, like, he goes to the gym. Okay, great. I'll cook dinner. I go away for the weekend. He takes off work and takes care of the kids. You know, if I have a call, he'll watch the kids or take them out to eat, or, you know, I mean, we leverage each other in that sense, and that we're partners. Like, I will be very blunt about this. I refuse to do all the housework. I refuse to do all those things. Not because I can't, but because, like, we're partners. And so he'll do laundry, I'll do laundry. He does dishes, I do dishes, right? And that has helped me immensely. You know, I think a lot of times women think that they don't have that with their husbands because that's not the role that they've played before. But a lot of that was like me communicating and just saying, hey, I'm going to need some additional help. Like, especially when I was in school full time and working full time, and then, you know, in school and running my business. I can't do it all. So can you, you know, show up and do this for me? And it was really just about like asking for what I needed. And we struggle as women to ask for what we want, to speak what we need, because we feel that we have to do it all. And I think one of the biggest things was letting go of the idea that, like, I can rely on you, you can rely on me. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I had those same conversations with my husband because, like, we had to sort it out and figure out, like, I can't do all the cleaning and cooking and grocery shopping and all of that if I want to build a business and work 40 hours a week. So you're completely right. It's a discussion that you have to figure out how you can juggle and balance and do the things that are important to you. So
100%.
So can you tell us more for working with you? How do you normally like to work with your clients?
Sure, absolutely. So I actually have a free community. I don't know if you have one as well, but I have a free community, Spiritual CEO. So I do lives in there every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that are generally around mindset, business, selling from your soul, limiting belief. I mean, all the things that we talked about tonight. I share all those things, but more in depth. So those are free trainings I do every week. I also do one-on-one coaching. I have 2 different packages for that. I love one-on-one coaching. I only take a limited amount of clients because I work with them for 3 months, and sorry, I'm getting messages. I really energetically pour into them in those containers. Those are like high level, intimate containers. We meet almost every week. You have unlimited access to me. So I'm almost full, which is really exciting. I have 1 spot left for the next 3 months, and then that's it. And then I actually just launched a group coaching program for round number 2 of that. I call it Magnetic. It's all around mindset and energy and stepping into your most magnetic energy, the next level version of you. So we work on mindset, alignment, and clarity. We work on energy. We work on owning your story and selling from your soul, content creation. We work on impact and influence and how you can actually show up as the next level version of you, and all the mindset and strategy around that. And then I call it manifesting, but it's like a more practical approach to the woo. So we do all of that stuff. I'm very woo, but it's like, you know, also in practical and woo terms. So
hilarious, but yes, I get that.
True. So that's a 6-week program, and that starts March 10th. And we do, I mean, that's actually for a group coaching container, really high touch. Like, we do an hour-long Zoom call together as a group every week where there's Q&A at the end. We do every other week a live coaching Q&A in our private Facebook community, and content drops every week with audios, videos, PDFs, journaling questions, like all things.
Ah, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. That was a long-winded explanation, huh?
That is perfectly fine. For all the ladies who are sitting there going, oh, I love her. This is perfect, because now they know how you can help them.
Yes.
So I'm curious to know, now you're talking a lot about your soul alignment and really figuring out like more internally about you. So I'm curious, have you always been kind of more towards the spiritual side, or is it something that you've learned over the years?
That's kind of a funny question, because I've actually, like, I don't think I realized that I was, but I was, because I would have people tell me that I was like kind of like what did they used to say? Like, not like an old soul, but kind of like an old soul. Like, I was just wise beyond my years or whatever, but it wasn't wise beyond my years. It was just like I had this internal kind of knowing of who I was. I didn't always let it fully come out. I think it's been an evolutionary process since I started as an entrepreneur of really like, man, you fall on your face, you get back up. Like you try things, they don't work, then they work. You meet people, you discover things about yourself, and like all of a sudden you realize like, okay, this is what is really like calling to me, right? And I had my son very young, my older son. I was actually not 2 weeks before I turned 17. And I remember saying to myself when I was pregnant with him that I was going to use that story. I remember saying, I'm going to use this to empower women someday. I didn't know what that would look like or what, how that would evolve. But I feel like all along, like my soul knew this is what I was supposed to do.
And eventually you got there.
I did, through all the things I got there.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. It may take a while, but you can get there too. For everybody
Well,
who's
I think
watching.
and the beautiful thing, and this is something that I realize that I say to all my clients now, is like, you don't need me. Like, you can do all of this on your own, right? Like, you can 100% do this on your own. But what took me 4.5 years to work through, we can condense timelines and you can do in months, because you have someone facilitating it. When you're sitting knee deep in it, you can't necessarily have the perspective, or see, all the things, and you need someone, not need, again, you can do it on your own, but if you want to accelerate and condense the timelines, it's who of you to have somebody to guide you.
Yes, it's so true. Which is why coaches have coaches that have coaches, because you need somebody to help you get out of your head. So yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, and people have coaches for everything. One of my new clients was telling me she has like a love coach. And I mean, I know that's a thing and I love it. And I'm just like, that's so cool. Like, you can have a coach for everything and anything. I mean, because having a mentor is really powerful.
So true. And now is like totally taking the bar up a level with the amount of people that specialize in all sorts of different things. So really, you can find just about anything.
Yes, I love it.
Yes. So where can people find you online? You mentioned you have a Facebook group, and like clearly you're on Facebook. We're here chatting. But what other platforms are you on?
Yes, I'm all over Facebook. My group is Spiritual CEO. I'm on Instagram. I do a lot with Insta stories. I love Insta stories. It's at Erin Call, but there's an XX on the end because there's another Erin Call. It's the old me. If you want to go pull up old stuff, go ahead and look. And then my website's erincallcoaching.com. And I'm on Twitter, but I don't use it. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
I thought, I'm going to say all the wise things on Twitter. And then I was like, too many platforms. I'm also on Pinterest. I do some stuff there.
All right. Excellent. Well, I will drop the links above in the comments above to all of your different places. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to do that before.
Okay.
So we're just about to wrap up, but I'd love to know what are your favorite things, or I guess maybe the most common things that you love to work with your clients?
Like clients that do, you mean like what do they do? Like what are their jobs? The people that I love to work with the most, or what I love to work with them on, I guess.
What you love to work with them on, or if there's something that's like common that always ends up coming up for you.
I generally find that people are a mirror image of who I was maybe 6-8 months ago. I think a lot of us find that. And so, I get these like aha moments when I'm like, oh my gosh, I went through that 8 months ago. Let's talk about it. And so like, I love that because, and I think we attract who we are, right? We attract who we show up as. And so they watched my journey maybe. And of course I'm attracting people that are very similar to me. So I love that. I really love working with women who are ambitious and passionate, and they know that there's something made for them, or they might already be exploring it and doing it. A lot of my clients are already doing it, but it's like, okay, I want to do this at the next level because I know that there's so many more women or men or whoever that I need to help. And I love connecting their story and their journey to what they're selling or sharing, or in what capacity they're serving and what they're creating, so that they can really like tell a story and get soul naked and own that truth and own that story. Like I love talking about people's stories and how they got here and how they can use that in their business to really connect with whoever it is they're serving, whether it's a product or a service or whatever.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's so important too. And I feel like so many people are like, well, my story, doesn't matter, not that important, but it means something to somebody else. Like somebody else might look at it and go, oh my God, like you're just like
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, and the reality is 100%, like everyone has a journey and a story, and you're using your product, if you're in network marketing or whatever, you're using that product because it helped you through a transition, right? Like you're not just
Mm-hmm.
using some random product, right? I mean, I hope you're not. And if you're a coach or some sort of like online entrepreneur, or I actually have a client who's a photographer, like they got there for a reason. Like they did this because it was, allowed them to create and heal and whatever, or they did this because it helped them through a transition in their life and get to what they were meant to do. And people need to hear that, because guess what? You're going to attract people that are so similar to you that need to learn that. You need to teach them what you learned, right? And that's your story.
So true. So true. I love it.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, that is just about all we have for today, unless there's something else that you wanted to share.
No, that was it. And if you guys did want to follow me on social media, I would love to connect with you. Feel free to reach out. And that's about it.
Yes, exactly. For anybody who wants to reach out to Erin, I will go and drop all of the links above, below, wherever it ends up. And yes, exactly.
Somewhere.
Exactly. So Erin, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure having you on. I'm so thankful to be able to go and share your story. So thank you so much. And for everybody who's watching, thank you. Drop a comment below. Let us know if you have any questions for Erin. Go follow her on social, and we would be happy to come back around here and let you answer whatever questions you may have. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions, throw them below and I'll come back and check just like you will. Be happy to answer them. So
amazing. Thank you so much. Have a
thanks,
good night.
guys. Talk to you. Bye. You too.
Bye.